Welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 4 with me, Jerupitus. So, at the end of that last video, we lost Ashley yet again. And coming up here, we have one of the, I guess I want to say, like, something that hasn't aged as well as a lot of the other stuff.
What's the news on our friend, Leon?
He's not making it easy. The sample?
Sadler's got it. It seems he sniffed out our little game.
Perfect.
Just so we understand each other clearly, I don't trust you, nor does Wesker. If you try to do anything clever, I will kill you.
Is that so? You know, I met Wesker long before you.
We'll see soon enough if you did.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that is Krauser. Krauser is our old partner. I guess someone who was probably involved in our, like, government training to become the action hero that we now are. And we're gonna have what amounts to a very long, unskippable cutscene riddled with QuickTime events, which really has not aged as well as some of the other QuickTime stuff in this game, in my opinion. Like, I sort of understand what they're trying to do, which is, like, make it so that you need to pay attention during cutscenes. But it's one of those things where you know, if you've seen it before, forcing the player to play through it is inconsiderate on a level that I think is not in line with the way the rest of this game is so intelligently designed. So nothing too special here, just some basic enemies in our way. And I guess you could argue that, you know, the developers spent a bunch of time on creating this cutscene it's honestly pretty cool. It's a little silly the way the rest of this game is. So they kind of want you to watch it, but, like, making me do that just kind of sucks. And the reason I'm talking about it beforehand is because there's lots that happens in rapid succession right after it that I want to talk about. And let's kick this thing off. Here we go.
Been a long time, comrade.
Krauser.
I died in a crash 2 years ago. Is that what they told you?
You're the one who kidnapped Ashley.
You catch on quick, as expected. After all, you and I both know where we come from.
What do you want?
The sample Sadler developed, that's all.
Leave Ashley out of this!
Oh, I needed her to buy Sadler's trust in me. Like you, I'm American.
got her involved just for that?
All for Umbrella's sake.
Umbrella?
Almost let it slip. Enough talk. Die, comrade!
Ada!
Well, if it isn't the bitch in the red dress.
Looks like we have the upper hand here.
You may be able to prolong your life, but it's not like you can escape your inevitable death, is it?
You knew each other?
More or less. Maybe it's about time you told me the reason why you're here.
Maybe some other time.
Enjoy the reunion with your old friend?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Wonderful. I wouldn't want my special guests on the island feeling unattended.
Guess I'm supposed to thank you, right?
Ah, I have an idea. Since you're here, why don't I introduce you to it? It should keep you busy.
Can't remember the name, huh? A senior moment, perhaps.
Oh. Enjoy the fun.
The way he goes, oh, you got me, I'm old. All right, so the creature he's talking about literally doesn't have a name. I mean, you could call it U3, but it is kind of the nameless creature. But we'll talk about that in a second. Let's check this out. This you may remember from the Resident Evil movie. That terrible, terrible movie. In the movie, they reference this scene, which is kind of an incredible scene, in my opinion. You are just, leaping and flipping through laser beams that if they touch you, they will kill you. But they're not going to kill us. Leon is way too much of a badass for that. And then immediately after that, you get to do this. I told you he was a badass. So you immediately go from like a laser hallway to just posing on a throne. And that is just my favorite series of things that happens in the entire game. It's just amazing. And so, I did want to talk about this boss coming up. So it is like nameless, it's a nameless thing. And it is probably my least favorite boss in the game. It's definitely a horrifying creature. But it feels kind of generic. But we'll see that in just a little bit here. I don't know, maybe I would like it more if they'd bothered to come up with a name, but they didn't.
Welcome. Got some rare things on sale. What are you selling?
Okay, so I don't have very much to sell.
Ah. Is that all? Thank you.
So let's see here. I can probably sell some rifle ammo.
Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Is that all?
A grenade.
Thank you.
And I'm going to make the executive decision to sell the infrared scope. because there is something I want to show off, and there is a non-zero number of regenerators remaining in the game. But
What are you buying?
we will be able to just kind of bullet dump into them and we'll be just fine. What I want to show off is 28 firepower broken butterfly,
Is that all? Thank you.
and we will eventually be able to get the exclusive upgrade for that. The exclusive for this will be 80, and the exclusive for the broken butterfly will be 150. So the issue I'm going to end up having is that
anytime.
I won't have enough opportunities to use the upgrade, but I do want to show it. So we're going to work on getting that. So let's check out this note, Lewis's memo number 4. I'll report my findings about the Plagas here. The Plagas have 3 distinct characteristics. As mentioned previously, the Plagas have the ability to manipulate the behavioral patterns of their hosts. The Plagas are social organisms. By this, I mean that instead of living individually, they live in perfect social harmony. It is believed that they have a collective intelligence. This type of behavior can be seen among insects such as bees and ants. However, this kind of social behavior is rarely seen among parasitic organisms. Perhaps it was a learned behavior by the Plagas. I'm finding out if this has any relationship with their first characteristic. The Plagas have exceptional adaptation skills. They're able to live off many kinds of organisms by creating a symbiotic environment quickly. This ability, when combined with their social behaviors, allows them to interact intelligently between hosts regardless of the host organism. I am ashamed to admit that my pure fascination with the Plagas, in hindsight, has blinded me to the true research objective of the Los Illuminados. Even with the knowledge that Sadler was going to abuse the results of these experiments, I could not pull myself away from my research. As a result, I am just as responsible for this whole mess as he is. I see now that I was wrong, but can I stop their evil plans alone? So it is partially Lewis's fault. Certainly not completely, but a little bit, right? He was just so fascinated by these horrible bugs he didn't really realize that they were pure evil. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and save. Right up ahead of me is going to be the yellow herb. Our second to last one. And let's go ahead and combine that up just because we can. And we'll take a sec to get organized here. And we are, for maybe the first time in this playthrough, a little bit light on ammunition. But that's not going to be a very big deal. We'll be just fine. Now, I do want to preserve my full heals because I'm going to need them. And that'll be a challenge making it through this, which is a giant hanging cage that exists for some reason. And if you're thinking that looks like an arena that we're going to end up inside, you would be right.
Ashley. What is that?
And there he is, the sort of generic, nameless boss creature. He's gonna kind of play a game of Boo Haunted House with us in here. But for the most part, you can just kind of run past him. He will grab you from time to time, but... And now, after we've pressed both switches in this arena, we have to run out of here before the whole thing drops. And the timer they give you is fairly reasonable. Unless you end up getting lost like I do sometimes. Now we're going to pull a little bit of a sneaky right here. You can actually see this switch from this side. And we're just going to go ahead and run right past him there. Hopefully he'll just go away. Yep. And usually he'll go away after doing a quick time event. This one right behind me is a little bit of a concern. Alright, he just dealt me some damage, so let's take the opportunity to increase our health bar. So far, this is going fairly smoothly. And this one is one of the easier ones because they conveniently give you this corridor here where he kind of can't get to you. Well, I say that, but he'll do some quick times, but those, as long as you're quick on the button, aren't too bad. Kind of hoping, yeah. If you're lucky and you just wait, most of the time he'll just kind of jump back up. Sometimes, though, he'll just hit you right in the face. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to go the other way. That might cost me. No? Okay. And then we just continue back through the corridor and get ourselves the F out of here. All right, and believe me, he is not done with us yet. A little bit of an ammo fountain, a little bit of a health fountain. So let's make sure we're all loaded up as much as we can be. And we're not quite ready to show off our cool magnum yet. And there he is. And I just feel like between him being nameless and his overall design, he's just a pretty generic, like, boss creature. So we're going to try to use both explosive barrels in the arena on him. I need him to come this way, yep. I feel like he's right on top of me. He sure is. So we can lock the door, but he will eventually bite through it. But if you kind of stun lock him here, using your remaining shots with the Magnum, he won't ever get to do that. And now, while he's doing the stun animation, we can just lay into him with our DPS machine. And now he's dived below the ground, so we'll have to do some quick time events. And he's down. Not too tough at all. He did get that last hit in on me, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Could be worse. And then I just want to double check around this arena that I didn't miss anything, but I don't think I did. But sometimes you'll be running around and you'll forget a pickup or two just because you're focusing on the boss. But yeah, I'd say that's a fairly smooth U3 fight. And so with him down, we pretty much can just head straight out of here. Just want to check that. But alas, nothing there. And now, after I complained about that Krauser cutscene, there is something about it that I want to mention. You might remember that I said when we first fight Chief Mendez, the guy who has, like, the centipede spine, very much earlier in the game, that I felt that the cutscene that you're involved with him is kind of a clue as to how to beat him. And now in the cutscene with Krauser, you're fighting him with the knife the whole time. And that is also a clue that the way that you mainly want to fight with him is with your knife. So what we're going to do in this upcoming section where we're going to be confronted by Krauser is battle him pretty much primarily using our knife. And there it is, our last yellow herb. Why don't we go ahead and use that? And now we have a full health bar. Pretty cool. We'll get all reloaded up here. And now we're going to head into this tent, which is hiding a passage that will take us below. Nope, nothing behind me. Just double checking. And in here, we're going to find our last jewel, the Blue Stone of Treason, for our cat. He doesn't sound like a very nice cat, but I love him anyway. Let's examine him. Look at the kitty. And all the gemeralds. All right. Few pesetas in there, and let's talk to the merchant. Oh.
Welcome. Got some rare things on. What are you selling?
And let's sell everything we can, namely our golden links.
Is that all? Thank you.
And let's see here.
Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying?
So that's going to cost 150,000. We'll get to that soon. We could go ahead and do our rifle, but I want to work towards the broken butterfly first. So for the first time ever, we actually can't afford something.
Come back anytime.
And you'll notice here that there is another shooting range. So you might think that I lied when I said that in Chapter 5.1 it was the last chance. I just make sure that that's the last chance because if you're on a New Game Plus, this one doesn't actually spawn, or at least that's my understanding. I haven't actually taken the risk to just completely miss the shooting range, so I always just do it in 5.1. That being said, let's take a look at this note. Krauser's note. It turns out that Old Man Sadler wasn't buying me from the start. Even though I succeeded in kidnapping Ashley, I sort of sensed this when Sadler didn't completely let me in the loop. Under the circumstances, I had no other alternative but to call for her assistance. Perhaps she knew this was the way it was going to turn out all along. My guess is that her ultimate goal might be different from Wesker's and mine. This is just the perfect opportunity to find out. And after I get rid of Leon and retrieve the sample, I'll put her in a body bag along with Leon and send them both to Wesker. Yeah, so Krauser is out to kill us. So before we head out, let's go ahead and give it a save. All right, with that out of the way, let's get out of here. And cleverly hidden behind me will be one more pickup. Little rifle ammo. I have way too much of that, but that's okay. And let's head on to this arena here. I wonder who could be waiting for us in here. Let's find out.
So, you two are all hooked up now, is that it?
Where's Ashley?
Do you really want to know? She's beyond that gate. But you'll need 3 insignias to open it.
What are you gonna do, Krauser?
There's one in the north, and the other in the east.
And let me guess. You got the last one.
It pretty much means you're on a tight leash.
Sounds like you thought this one out pretty well.
So he's got a TMP, so we're gonna run for our lives. We're gonna climb this ladder, and he will predictably jump to the top of this ladder, and we'll be able to knife him right away. Give him a kick to the face. And we're pretty much going to be able to do this entire area using nothing but the knife. And I gotta tell you, despite the fact that I think the cutscene is supposed to be a clue for that, I never would have figured this out on my own. Like, I would not have thought to do this in a million years. Now he's going to try to ambush us here.
That's what I'm talking.
And you can spot him by his shadow on the ground. And we'll just take cover until he's got to reload, and he'll drop down right in front of us.
That's what I'm talking about.
No problems there. And we'll climb up here and find a grenade kind of floating in midair there. Looks normal enough to me. Let's grab it. Then we'll come around this way, and we'll be able to get to the top of this little area here.
What do you intend to do restoring Umbrella?
To bring order and balance to this insane world of ours.
A psycho like you can't bring order or balance.
You don't seriously think a conservative mind can chart a new course for the world, do you?
So that's our first piece of the Holy Beast. Now he's going to jump up top and either shoot or lob grenades at us. So we're going to hide down here and make sure he can't hit us. Anytime now, Krauser. All right, there he is. And that's the end of that encounter. So now we've got to push some statues because we are Leon S. Kennedy. and he is the best in the world at solving statue puzzles. And so that will open up the way out of here, and that switch there, which is the way forward. And now Krauser's going to want to ambush us again, and we'll be able to spot his shadow there. But he's going to get kicked in the face as usual.
That's what I'm talking about. Good.
And now we can flip this switch. And in this little section here, we're going to have to fight some little cute Star Wars droids. And these are kind of weird. They only appear here. I guess they're like supposed to be Krauser's weapons or something. And I always find those floating ones like kind of stressful. Like they make that horrible noise. Like your alarm clock when you don't want to go to work. But they don't really pose much of a threat.
What is it that you fight for, comrade?
My past, I suppose.
Umbrella.
Alright, I still hear the floating one. He's behind me somehow. Okay. I never can get through that part without taking some amount of damage. But that's okay. We got plenty of healing. We got this yellow herb. And those are kind of useless, but I can use them to increase Ashley's health bar if I want to. And here we are in the final area. I'm going to go ahead and grab this stuff real quick first, because when we finish this fight, we're going to be on a time limit. And sometimes when I'm on a time limit, I can just kind of like tunnel vision it and forget to do stuff. So I'm just going to make sure I don't forget. So there's our second piece of the Holy Beast, and we know that Krauser has the last one.
2 down, 1 more to go, Krauser. We'll see about that. Witness the power!
You've lost it completely, Krauser.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
So he's got a giant lobster arm, and the whole place is rigged with explosives. So that's gonna lock me in here. But we're gonna get our trusty knife out. We're pretty close here, so why don't we go ahead and heal up. And we did it! Krauser is dead. And that's the last piece of the Holy Beast. Krauser, what happened to you? You used to be a good guy. Clearly he is not anymore. But now we can go ahead and get out of here. And, you know, you can have that Krauser fight go smoother than that. But, you know, we got it done. I'm happy with it, so let's go ahead and move on. It won't open, pieces are missing. And we've seen this mechanic already, so we're just gonna go ahead and fill it in. And that will let us out of here. All right, that's the end of that chapter, and that one is pretty tough. There's a whole bunch of boss fights in it and all kinds of craziness. So that's going to be all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.